With the new AA coming, helicopters like the AH-1 and the Apache, aircraft like the AV-8B are going to become very difficult to actually go up against things like the IRIS-T, and today I'm talking about a weapon system that I think should get added for these aircraft and helicopters, and that is the ARM, or Anti-Radiation Missile 122. It is a heavily modified AIM-9C that is made to be an anti-radiation missile for things like the AH-1, AH-64, A4, AV-8, and I believe it was even carried on later aircraft as well. Only about 700 were ever converted, and it was designed for up-close engagements with AA systems, just necessarily the radar. It doesn't really have much of an explosive head. It is only meant to target the radar, and it can even hit moving radar targets. Now, what made this missile so unique is the ability to actually be carried on board lighter aircraft like the Harrier, A4 Skyhawk, and AV-8B, especially the, helicopters. This, I believe, is one of the only anti-radiation missiles to ever be carried on a helicopter. It was pushed out on the U.S. Marine Corps and Navy's A4 or AH-1s, but it was not pushed out on things like the U.S. Army's Apache, as they lost interest in the program towards the latter stages of it. However, it was fitted on the AV-8B Night Attack and the A4 Skyhawk, so technically we could see both of those aircraft getting access to the AGM-122. Now, something else that makes this, this missile needs to work with other weapon systems. It cannot be a standalone weapon simply because it can only target the radar system and it won't be able to fully necessarily destroy it, more or less just either damage it or technically it can destroy the radar, but it's not going to be used to be able to target other vehicles. Now, something I think a big reason why, honestly, I think it should come is it gives the American helicopters like the Cobra access to a weapon that will be able to target the new AA systems. And technically, I do think the AV-8B NA should also get this system because it could very much be useful as going up against these new AA systems. It's going to struggle being a more subsonic aircraft. They could also add a later A4 Skyhawk. Now, the ARM-122 Sidearm, as it is called, can also, from what I've understood from researching it, is it's a shorter ranged anti-radiation missile, but it has a pop-up capability, meaning you can stay very low to the ground and then actually fire the missile, and once you fire it, it will fully pull up and make a pop-down attack motion. Basically meaning helicopters and aircraft that carry it can stay hidden and then engage them whenever they need to, which would definitely be something good for things like the Cobra. And technically, Gaijin could add this to the Apache if they wanted to, because it was tested with them. The Army, like I said, just dropped out of the program late. Now, as far as what the Russians could get, I don't believe they had anything like this. I do know, or I've heard rumors, that the Ka-52 is fitted with the KH-29 or possibly even the KH-38 missile, but I don't know how true that is. Now, another thing that Gaijin could technically do is just get, these missiles in low quantities, allowing maybe things like the AH-1W and AH-1 Zulu to only necessarily carry 2 of them. And that, honestly, is a great addition, in my opinion, still, because it gives these American helicopters something to actually use to target new AA systems. Another thing that they could add is add it in small systems to things like the AV-8B NA, or even add a new modern Skyhawk that could carry them. There's a lot of things that they could do to actually add the system. I do want it to come to the game. I think it'd be a great feature. I just think we're gonna have to wait and actually see how, if they're ever going to implement it. Personally, I think it's something we should see in the future, but I'm not Gaijin. I'm not the one who can make those types of decisions. I think that the missile system is really, really cool. If you guys get a chance to read about it, you really should. It has a cool backstory behind it, and I think its history is quite fascinating. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. If you guys are not already subscribed, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing, and joining the Discord linked down below in the description. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you guys in a later one.